Hi folks, John Tobis here talking about my favorite cipher, the Baconian cipher. This time we're going to talk about how to generate a word Baconian. Now I'm starting with a quote that was generated by the test builder. Typically a Baconian quote is going to be somewhere between 30 and 40 characters for a word Baconian. You also would like to get a quote that's not obvious. In other words, you want them to actually have to solve it all the way to the end. So sometimes having something that has sort of a surprise twisting, a surprise ending can help. This one here, you've got quite a bit. You can go pretty far before you can figure out the whole quote. So you really want them to be able to go through it. Now, there's two things you have to do when doing a word Baconian. The first thing you have to do is you have to come up with what is the pattern that you want them to find. By default, we come up with an A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Well, obviously that's an easy one. So you want to pick something. And we've got this button. You can say, all right, do I want to do every one, every two, every three? I could do every 13. In other words, the first half of the alphabet is A's, the last half is B's. Or I can say every other one, and I can toggle it so that B's are A's. Now, this is the one pattern I probably would never do. And the reason why is you have very few vowels that are A's. So generally the BA is one you're going to avoid. Let's go with a three. We're going to go with three A's, three B's, three A's, three B's. Now, next thing you do when you're doing a word Baconian, after you've decided what your sequence is going to be, is you have to give them a crib so that you can tell them what they're looking for. So I generally like to start with the tops. So we're going to say THOS. I'm going to tell them that's a crib. You'll notice as I type those letters, you'll see things turn green. The reason why they're turning green is because the words for the quote, daily agree a deal, it's just whatever the defaults are, for your crib text, reveal what those letters are. And what you want to do is you want to come up with a phrase so that they can figure out at least what the pattern might be. So there's no real good way to do this automatically. I find that human beings are the best at actually looking at this. So let's just go ahead and find, something in here that we want to start our phrase. So we can say, okay, Egypt has got a bunch of words in there. Let's try fairy. Oh, look at that. We got a lot of the letters in there. Fairy. Ooh, boxer. Fairy boxer. You can see at this point in time, I can see A, B, B, B. So if someone actually just saw those couple of letters, they would have a pretty good clue what's going on. So let's see. How is the rest of the statement? Fairy boxer. Up for fatal. Ooh, wait, couldn't use that. Lost some of the letters, the C and D. It must have been up for dance. Okay, fairy boxer up for dance. And is put, and you can see, you go in and you're going to come up with something that makes a little bit of sense. I'm doing this a little bit quickly. I'll spend a little bit more time coming up with looking at these words to see what looks good. But you can see fairy boxer up for dance is put, you got these arrows to go through it. You get to see 5 of them at a time. Is put, and we not only want to try and get a sentence that lasts for a line. You can do it as shorter. Is put down a steep. Oh, that's actually looking pretty good. Down a steep break. Then put a period at the end of it. Fairy boxer up for dance is put down a steep break. Not the greatest sentence in the world, but you can see how you can take this approach and go through and generate some sentences that make sense. You don't have to make them all be exactly this number of words. If you make something like, let me just show you how it works. We come in here and put a period at the end of that. Then what it'll do is split it, and you'll just have an extra, or an extra sentence. You have a short one here. You can make it be whatever you want. But the real key that you're looking for is making sure that your crib text reveals enough of the pattern so that if someone solves a crib text, they got the pattern. If you've got the pattern at this point in time, my mind can look at this and say, all right, A, B, 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 and I kind of test it out, A. I know the rest of it, and then becomes almost trivial to solve. Actually, it is trivial because now you know what all the letters are. So now that I've done this, I need to go ahead and get my question. All right, strange headlines using a Baconian. Hey, that's great. Replace that. Wonder how many points it is. Click suggest points. 40 characters, 261 from a range of 230. That looks good. We've set that, and we are done with it. So I hope this gives you a good idea how to do this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.